So we had that question, which was, how many hours do they work per week? Okay, now say I take one card here. Okay, I've taken this one, and it says 4 hours. Okay, now if we go back to our research question, how many hours do MSci 110 students spend working on MSci 110 on Blackboard in a week? So that's my research question. I want to be able to answer that. So what I've done is I've asked you all. I haven't asked you how much you spend in a week because people aren't very good at doing that. Instead, I've asked you how much you've done this week. So here is my answer, 4 hours. Okay, could I use that as the answer to that question? Hands up if you say yes. Hands up if you say no. Okay, why can't I just say, well, I asked one student and he or she spent 4 hours, therefore 4 hours is the answer. Why can't I do that? Go on. Yes?
Because your sample size is too small.
My sample size is too small. Very technical, but correct. But the point is, because there is variation. Because if I said, okay, I'm going to write down my pay every fortnight for the next 3 months on a piece of paper, on different pieces of paper, and I take out one, would that tell me what all the others said? Yes, it would, because my pay does not change. It is not a variable. Or if I wrote down what year I was born, put it into a jar, took it out, I only need one to tell me what the answer is, because it doesn't vary. The reason that asking one student doesn't work for the average for the whole lot of you is because you are different from each other, because there is variation. If everybody did things the same, statistics would not exist because we would just know what the different things were. Okay, so it's not going to be different. It's not going to be the same for each student. Okay, so why? Because people work different amounts of time. Any other reason why it might be different? Anyone watch House? What's House always saying? People lie. Okay, some of you are thinking, oh, I think I better say a few more hours, otherwise she's going to know somehow through the piece of paper that it was me. Okay, what else? People can't estimate very well. And that was really clear in some of your answers to the questionnaire at the beginning of the year. Another one is people forget. People are tricking. Some people thought they'd be really funny and said that they spent 250 texts the previous day, or that they were going to earn $2 million a year. So there's always people who just want to be a little bit different and change it. So this bit here is not necessarily natural variation. These bits here are actually to do with the question it's a problem of the question. This bit here is the natural variation. Okay, so it's simply that people are different. Okay, it's all about natural human and manufacturing process. There will be variation. So we just need to take that into account. Okay, so have a look at the next slide, and we take one piece of paper. And like I did, I said, so it said 4. Okay, so what can I conclude from this? Not much. Okay, what can I conclude? I conclude that one student who attended the lecture, spent 4 hours this week. Okay, and the explanation is because the hours can be different. I'm going to write this down because it's important. And the reasons they can be different, levels of motivation, levels of ability, levels of availability, is why the hours changed, can be different from person to person. Due to natural variation, We cannot draw conclusions about the class as a whole from this. And some people get confused between this and the other kinds of variation that we're going to be talking about. So though it seems sort of obvious, it is an important thing to get across that things just vary, and because of a whole lot of different factors.